Hey everybody, welcome back to I2Y, the place where we talk about anything and everything Disney. My name's Kyle.
And my name is Jessica, and before we get started today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content.
It's time for another movie review. This time we're going to be reviewing
Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
/ Black Panther 2, however you'd like to call it, because I can't get stuck off that.
I have never heard anybody call it Black Panther 2
I know!
except Kyle.
I know.
I don't think that's a thing, so just ignore that.
I know.
It is definitely Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Here's what it should be. Black Panther 2 emotional. Black Panther
We
2...
miss Chadwick Boseman.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll get into that in just a little bit. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, and usually we do this like in the realm of 3 reasons to watch type of thing. We're mixing it up a little bit. So we need to give some credit, first of all, for the people that not even gave us the idea, just created the idea themselves because they're doing it personally. Our cousins, Megan and Michael, who have created their own, what would you call it, a rating system, something like that, on how they want to review personally movies themselves. I think Disney movies specifically. But so we're going to be using that system here, and it gets you to a score of like overall 25 in different categories.
So there's 5 different categories. Yeah. The categories are visuals and atmosphere, sound, design, and music, story and theme, characters and dialogue, and entertainment and enjoyability.
Yep.
So out of the 5 categories, there's a score of 1 to 5, obviously 5 being perfect and 1 being the worst. And so out of those 5 categories with a 1 to 5 score, you will get a score out of 25.
You know what? You get a score of 25 for explaining that so well. It's like you done this before or something like that.
It's like I know how to explain things.
All right, so that's why we're going to do it this way this time around, and we'll go through the scores, maybe give a few thoughts as we're giving the scores. So let's start with our first thing for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, visuals and atmosphere. Jessica, ladies first.
Obviously, this is an easy category to not give spoilers in.
Right.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was really well done, as most Marvel movies are with visuals and atmosphere. You definitely felt like you were in Wakanda within all of the different elements. And it's not a spoiler that part of the movie is in the water because that was in the trailer.
Yeah.
But so like even the water scenes, it reminded me a lot of Avatar.
Yeah,
just
a lot of that.
Seeing all of those things. So I gave it a solid 4.
I gave it a 5. I guess it just hasn't lost any of that allure. Maybe because we went to the water, right, this time around. That was, like you said, that was a really good thing. I guess we were so wowed by it the first time when we saw Wakanda and just the city of gold, basically, they have there. Yeah. That, like, it's not that it's lost some of its luster. It's just we've seen it before.
We needed something different, right?
And they did give us something different, but it wasn't as cool as seeing Wakanda for the first time.
Well, then why'd you give it
for
a
you?
score?
I'm explaining your 4, but
explain my score.
Fine, I was just trying to like explain the whole scoring system for both of us. So 4 for her, 5 for me. Our next category is sound, design, and music.
Sound design, though.
Sound design, music.
Sound design is 1, like.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's basically about the sounds,
quality,
and the music.
Yep,
yeah,
all that.
So I gave it a 3. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't perfect. The final song that Rihanna did was amazing, and I loved that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I got a 3, not a 2.
Obviously, that's a tribute in some way to, Chadwick and that whole situation. So that means a lot. I'll be honest with you. I didn't really like the song.
Oh, I did like the song, actually.
Sorry, it's a bit of a, I know that's going to be unpopular, but it was not my taste. I gave the sound, everything was 4 for me, though, because the music, we've heard a lot of it before, but it was nice to hear now like Mesoamerican tones in music because of Namor and all of that stuff that's going on there. So that was something new, and so that's why I kept it pretty high still.
Yeah, that's fair. So the next category is story and theme. So I thought the story was very interesting. It piqued my interest the entire time. There was not a point in the movie where I felt like it lagged. So I did give it a 4. It's not a perfect score for me just because personally action movies and stuff like that are never going to be perfect for me. But that's more about me and less about the actual movie.
Right. I actually gave this as my lowest score here for the entire of all the categories. So 3 for me. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but because I think, and this is just maybe me personally, so wrapped up in the emotions of Chadwick being gone and like wanting the focus to be on that in some way, but it can't, obviously, because they didn't have any film of him in this to really use that we, other than we saw in the trailers and stuff like that. It's, for me, I felt also there was a lot of other storylines out there they kind of tried to pull in all together while also trying to acknowledge all that was going on. It kind of got a little convoluted for me at times, but they kept it together really well to make it still an enjoyable story. It didn't take me out of it, but I found myself at one point going, there's a lot going on here, and I'm not sure that we couldn't like remove one of these storylines
Yeah.
or 2 or 3 maybe.
That's fair.
That's just how I
Keep it
felt
less
about
money.
it.
Well, the next one is characters and dialogue. So it was fine for me. So I gave it a 3, which I feel like is a solid score. But there's nothing. There wasn't any dialogue that I think I'm gonna remember. Right? Like there's no actual scenes or moments that I'm gonna remember that actual dialogue. So I thought the characters were great. I loved them, but nothing memorable.
I actually like the characters a lot in this. Not a 5 for me, but a 4 because characters like M'Baku are back in this. And he's one of my favorites like of all time because he's not a villain really, but he's kind of that foil to all the other characters. He's pretty good, but he's got a bad side to him too. I thought Shuri in this one was just well done. Queen Ramonda, like wow, girl, go get you an Oscar. That's all I'm saying. Just really, really good from her. And then everybody else in it too. And I thought the guy who played Namor, I'm forgetting his name, so please forgive me. But I didn't know what to expect from him. Because I don't have a lot of familiarity with that character. But when I think of Namor, I think of him. He kind of like sold me on this. His take is the one I'm supposed to value and one I'm supposed to focus on more. So I really like that. And
that's a good point. Like now that I think about it, I like Shuri's character better in the first Black Panther. Obviously we know that this is a tumultuous time for Shuri. So she was able to be funnier in the first movie. This was a very serious Shuri, which I wasn't anticipating.
She was thrust into a lead role in many ways that have to see the movie to talk about in that. Category number 5, we got entertainment and enjoyability. Jessica, what you got?
Yeah, I gave it a 4. I thought it was a really well done movie. It was very enjoyable, start to finish. I have no regrets for going to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I would give it a 4 as well. Not, you got to be Avengers Endgame to be a 5 these days. But in terms of, or Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh my gosh.
Just on those levels things. But I really liked it. Even some of my qualms about the story elements and stuff like that. They did such a good job of honoring Chadwick, his character he, portrayed.
Yep.
And not going overboard, but continually bringing it back to that and still focusing on the characters. So I found myself, not forgetting about the loss of Chadwick, but
no, you definitely couldn't.
But moving more into focusing on what's going in the movie, so much the loss of that. But they would always send you back the reminder through a dialogue, something like that.
Yeah, and it was almost like this really sweet, I guess like a memorial for for Chadwick's real life family too, like people that knew him the very beginning of the movie, the opening Marvel credits.
Oh man, don't even say it. I'm gonna get it going again.
Yeah, that was just like all Chadwick, just like a sweet remembrance of who he was. And, and then obviously the end, there was another token of just memorial for him.
It was really good. So our final score is 18 to 25 for you.
Yep.
20 of 25 for me. I'm pretty happy with those scores, I think.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that mine is 18. Like I've done the math 3 times, but that sounds low, but it really, I enjoyed the movie a lot.
Yeah. So you guys should go out and watch it if you haven't already, because if you haven't, what are you doing? If you're a Marvel fan out there, you got to go see this thing. I especially would recommend, we had to do it early with no crowd, basically, just because of our schedules. This is one I think would be cool to be in theaters with people, just for so many elements that we've already touched on before. Not because it's an Avengers level game, but just to experience something this momentous for a character and for an actor that's meant a lot to all of us together as fans. So go check it out if you haven't. We'd love to hear your comments. Try to keep them spoiler free in the comments section below. That's it for us here on I2Y. Until we assemble again,
May the Force be with you.
and we'll see you real soon.
Bye guys.